Hey, what's going on, everybody? Max here with BB, and today for 10 Minutes Max, we're going to be talking about Pepe and only Pepe, one of my favorite tickers in the market. One of the first tickers that I ever talked about here on our YouTube channel, probably about a year and a half ago. It's got a very special place in my heart, to say the least. So we're going to spend some time talking about Pepe, USD, so just like the normal Pepe ticker, and then also dive into some of the pairs that are supportive of Pepe and my bias for it. Now, Pepe has been one of the strongest tickers in the market, and I believe we are getting very, very close to an expansion higher. Okay, it's been a long time coming. It's been a painful start to the year, but I believe the time is almost here. Pepe has just been holding strong. A lot of people will view this as like, oh, you pumped up so aggressively over here and early last year, and like this is just a huge distribution and it's going to waterfall down. Wrong. I do not think that that's the case. I actually very much so view this as like range 1, and then I would view this as just like range 2. Okay. I drew these very sloppily, but this to me does not scream distribution. To me, this screams reaccumulation. Now, like I mentioned, Pepe is one of the very few tickers that's actually held on to its kind of range low over here. For example, I mean, something even like ETH. ETH hasn't even done that, guys. Like the second largest crypto asset hasn't even done that. Look at what ETH has done over here. Here's Pepe up top. Here's ETH down below. Here's ETH's range. ETH is sitting below its range. And Pepe, I mean, you can't even, like, it's just Pepe's so much better. Let's just even take it from this high. Oops. Let's just take it from this high because this one is way lower, right? So much more strength. Like, Pepe's printing way higher highs and holding local low structure much better than even that of Ethereum. So it's like the time to distribute has kind of come and gone. Pepe should have, if it was going to, lose this range when ETH lost the range, but it didn't. So, anyways, we don't need to get too much into that. People will say it's distribution, others will say it's accumulation. I think it's very much so accumulation. My high time frame targets for Pepe have not changed at all. Okay, so if we look at range number 1 over here, and by the way, we're going to get into some supportive pairs and things like that. Okay, we throw on our golden pocket, our 1618 fib. You can see right here, and I'll move the label to the center and I'll make the text a little bigger so you guys can see it. Range high, range low, mid-range, first top at the 1618. Okay, let's also throw on a 2618 right here. Now let's draw our second range. And again, I'm going to mention, so from like our first all-time high at our golden pocket, this is going to be our range high. I guess I don't want those to be in the way. We'll put them right here. This whole move up top here was the Coinbase listing deviation. Okay. Put that in blue for Coinbase. Okay. Gets listed on Coinbase, bad time in the market, things sell off, right? But this to me is a very, very clear structure where you have range 1, first top at the 1618. Range 2, which of course consists of range high, range low, mid range, again, another tag of range low. Your fib confluence up here, in my view, it's a very revealing sign. Like there's a very good chance that you end up having that be like your next kind of ultra high time frame target. Okay, it's gonna take some time to get there. Maybe not. I mean, this move happened in like a little over a month. Like Pepe went up 10x in 39 days, right? So maybe it won't take that long. Like things can happen very, very quickly. But point being is like my target hasn't changed at all. I was covering Pepe on this YouTube channel down here in range 1, right? And I mean, by the way, the chart actually looks like this. Like I had it in log mode so you could see it. We were making videos on this thing literally over here. And I was saying my target's 50 billion. Pepe was at 300 to 350 million right here. And I was buying it. And everyone's like, dude, it's not even going to get back to a billion. Binance listing was the top. That happened over here. That was the first blow off. It's never going to happen. And then it happens, right? And we go to, 12 billion. Okay. And now they're telling me, oh, you need to lower your targets, Max. Like the sell off was too crazy. You need to lower your targets. I mean, look, I've conditioned myself in these markets to think a little differently about it, right? It's conditioning, it's understanding that the human mind doesn't understand and really think logarithmically, right? On a scale of exponentials, 1, 10, 100, 1,000. Things very linearly, 1, 2, 3, 4, slow growth, right? It's very hard to imagine that after this sell-off, suddenly we would just like rally up to, this 2618, that's 10x higher than here. But I'm telling you, things can happen and it's crypto. And my targets remain completely unchanged. This bottom that we're seeing over here, and I'll actually delete these, I've got them saved on another chart. This bottom to me right here feels eerily reminiscent of this. Eerily reminiscent of this. I'll mark out some of the technicals on it, some of the more specifics. Okay, it feels really, really similar to this. For one, we didn't come back and take out the wick low. Okay, just didn't happen. Second, we took out the kind of prominent high that happened around that low, right? They're not exactly the same. Obviously, this one happened before, this one happened after. Doesn't really matter, okay? Point being is charts they love to kind of top and bottom the same way time and time again. And I think there's a very, very high likelihood that this thing is bottomed here. And we've just put in some sort of like, double bottom at the range low, okay? We can even really simply take a diagonal trend line and mark this out. And you'll say to me, Max, you're cheating. Look at that high that you missed there. Okay, so maybe. But this happened when Elon Musk changed his profile picture to Kekius Maximus, the frog or whatever. And then Pepe had that scam pump and then it sold right back off. So you could say that's cheating. I could say I'm adjusting for conditions. I'm contextualizing the trend. Okay. I view this very much so as your trend. And I also think it's supported by something like this USDTD, which, for those that are unfamiliar, Tether dominance is a percentage of crypto that Tether makes up, right? So it has a negative correlation with crypto. If this thing's moving up, it means that stable coins, specifically Tether, are gaining market dominance or market share over crypto. And if it's moving down, that means the opposite, right? It means that coins are pumping or stable coins are being deployed into, stuff like Pepe or Bitcoin or ETH or whatever. Um, and basically it's bullish for crypto, right? When people deploy stable coins. So they move inversely of one another. So, there's this trend line on Pepe, and we have a similar kind of trend line here on Tether dominance that is just starting to waterfall. I posted this on my X account. I think it was maybe last night, sometime very recently. Okay. So I think this is very much so the start of our trend shift to the upside, which again is backed up by Tether dominance here. Okay. So I'm looking at this going, this is it. We had our pullback. You had your chance to, start scooping. I think you still have a very good chance here, but I think Pepe is going to go on one heck of a run here and really surprise people once again. Now, let's take a little trip over to the Pepe Doge pair chart, my favorite chart in crypto. Let's update this one. So, this is Pepe paired against Doge. So, what it means is when the chart is moving up, Pepe's outperforming Doge. When the chart's moving down, Doge is outperforming Pepe. My philosophy on memes is the following: do not hold any meme or any altcoin over Bitcoin for that matter, but we're talking about memes. Don't hold any meme that doesn't look good on its pair chart against Doge, because Doge is the king of memes. It's the Bitcoin of meme coins. Okay, it's 10 years old, it's proof of work, it's safe, the whole thing. Okay. Now, Pepe looks tremendous. It looks tremendous. Looks really, really strong against this pair. Okay. So let's actually take a look back at, we could even do something like this. You could take it from the high, or you could do it a little differently, do it from the low. But point being is, we are seeing another very kind of bullish range formation over here. We've been following this since the lows. I actually think I made a video maybe a few weeks ago about this. How Pepe Doge was looking bullish, which was giving me confirmation that Pepe was bottomed. Okay. Because fun fact about this chart, it has never moved higher while crypto as an asset class has gone lower. Okay. This is our alpha beta chart. I mean, let's even just take a look at it, right? Let's put up Pepe down below. That is the wrong Pepe chart. Pepe USD. All right. Go candles. Go here. So we can put it in log mode. There we go. Now, when this Pepe Doge chart starts breaking higher is when Pepe USD really kind of begins its run. Okay. Really begins its run. Let's take a look at a few examples. So let's look at, let's just say like example one here. Here's Pepe USD, breaks higher. What did we notice about this region over here for Pepe Doge? Pepe Doge breaks higher, Pepe USD goes on a ripper. Not a second earlier. And there, again, I drew it earlier. There's another way you could potentially draw it like this. You know, there's a couple highs you could intersect through. It doesn't really matter. Point being is you broke out. You could even draw it like a range here with like a deviation below. It doesn't really matter whether it's a range or it's a diagonal. Point being is Pepe Doge broke higher. Pepe USD, it got the signal. Okay. Even like ultra locally. How about like in the depths of the bear market? In the depths of the bear market, what happened? Right? Like look at this right here. We can even extend it out further, right? Here you go. You get this kind of trend line on Pepe Doge. The Pepe Doge pair is bleeding. Doge is a better hold. And then, wouldn't you know it, Pepe Doge breaks higher. And then Pepe USD puts in a 100% move, right? So even like in the depths of a bear market, you know, you get kind of signal out of this chart. And then, you know, all the way throughout this structure, right? Like, you know, this thing starts breaking higher. And then Pepe, you know, goes on another big run here, right? So I'm just trying to give you a few examples, right? But what I'm trying to show you right now is that Pepe Doge, despite whatever ETH is doing and what majors are doing, and Bitcoin actually looks really good here, it's been trying to break higher, right? To those that say that like these pairs don't work, it's like range low, range high, deviation, sweep the range low, reject from the mid range, break out of the diagonal. And as soon as you're grinding higher, look what's happening. So it's like we're seeing something here. You know, and the big question is going to be, do we like really explode higher? Time will tell. Kind of up to Bitcoin. But we are seeing the conditions necessary for a big move on Pepe. And it all kind of comes down to this kind of hidden beta alpha pair, Pepe versus Doge. It's like ETH against Bitcoin, or, you know, I don't know, dog with hat against Sol. It's like you got to kind of look at these little pairs to tell you like, what do they represent? You know, Pepe, new hotshot, young premier beta of this cycle. In my opinion, probably the biggest winner of this cycle in terms of large caps, against the time-tested, stable, true, safe Dogecoin, right? So I think we're getting ready. I really do. I think we are absolutely getting ready. I think we have higher. Now let's look at a Pepe market cap chart. This is what we basically talking about earlier for a moment. But I just want to show you, this is the Pepe market cap chart here, guys. So very similar to what we were looking at earlier with our fib confluence, range 1 with the breakout, tag the 1618, range 2, with range high, range low, mid-range, breaking out of our diagonal here. Right now, we're at a 3.5 billion market cap, holding range low nicely, leading the market again. And we've got this fib confluence up here. Again, this starts at 41 billion and goes up to about 50. So just wanted to show you kind of what those fib levels can represent, hypothetically, of course. Now, we could also take a look at something like Pepe dominance, which is starting to break higher. Now, we mentioned another dominance chart earlier. The dominance chart that we mentioned earlier was Tether dominance, right? So it's a percentage, just like this chart. And what it's doing is it's showing what percentage of crypto this asset represents. So right now, Pepe dominance is at 0.13%. Tether dominance was, I don't know, what was it at? 4 something. Or USDTD was 5.15. So Tether makes up 5% of crypto, and Pepe makes up 0.13%, right? Bitcoin makes up like 65%, okay? Now, when this chart moves up, it means that it's better to hold Pepe than mostly anything else. That means that Pepe, when it's moving up, is gobbling up market share, okay? It's gobbling up market share from the rest of crypto. When it's moving down, things like Bitcoin are stealing market share, right? So Pepe is going to be bleeding more. Now, I do have a cycle target for this chart as well. Let me see if I have it saved. Here we go. I don't. Here, just get rid of these. I was trying to delete the drawings, but it's not. No, that's not it either. Okay, never mind. Maybe I have it on a different chart or something like that. Now, this to me is very interesting as well. If we take from our first swing high and first swing low, so like our opening tick for Pepe dominance right here, to our first all-time high for Pepe dominance, and we exclude, the Coinbase deviation, which I think contextually makes sense. You'll see that our 1618 our 1.618 for Pepe dominance is at 0.69%. Just about. I know it seems silly, but in crypto, the numbers 6, 9, and 420 seem to really have a grip on the market. All right. So I just wanted to share this with you as sort of another little thing to look out for, right? Just a little thing to look out for, okay? We're going to go over another chart. I'm just kind of rapid firing some charts here. Now, let's see if I can find it. Here we go. It was SHIB-Pepe. Okay. Another chart that I think is going to play a really significant role this cycle is the SHIB-Pepe modified market cap chart. Okay, so what I did here is I took SHIB's market cap and I subtracted Pepe's market cap from it. Now, why is this significant? Well, for one, SHIB is on ETH, Pepe's on ETH. I think Pepe is going to flip SHIB this cycle. Without, I don't even think it's going to be a struggle. I think it will happen. It'll probably be late cycle, but I think it will happen. And this is the line, right? This is the line. So I think when this flips it, that could also be like a good top signal. Now, why is that important? Now, that's important because if you look here at the Doge minus SHIB market cap from last cycle, you can see that actually SHIB did flip Doge last cycle, right? SHIB flipped Doge. Now, where were we within the cycle when our beta flipped our alpha for memes? Oh, interesting. It happened right at the all-time high for Bitcoin. Okay, interesting. So maybe this cycle, consider just a theory, again, just sharing my findings. it will be significant again to see our premier beta of this cycle, Pepe. And who knows what this chart will do in the meantime. But we'll see where the cycle's at. Maybe it goes up here again. You know, maybe it goes up higher. I don't know, right? Maybe Bitcoin's up here. But I think when this chart flips 0 and Pepe flips SHIB, something to look out for, just given what happened last cycle with the SHIB Doge comparison. Guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Welcome to the all-new BB Terminal portfolio. Faster, smarter, and now free for everyone. Signing up is easy. Just use your Google account to get started in seconds. Once you're in, you'll get a clean, aggregated view of all your wallets. Or dive into individual wallets for more control. We support Wallet Connect for seamless syncing. And don't worry, we use industry-standard encryption to keep your data safe and secure. Prefer not to connect your wallet? No problem, just use our manual entry mode. Choose as many tokens as you like. Then plug in your transactions. It's quick and intuitive. Watch your portfolio stats and charts update in real time. Your portfolio refreshes automatically every hour, but you can also sync instantly with just one click. BB Terminal Portfolio, available to everyone for free.